right, I guess I'll go ahead and get started. People can join in. This pillow out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to do our typical meditation, and the PDF that I send out, I'm going to add a little more information in with that today. Because it's so you can meditate and you can do things like Qigong and you can do yoga and all of these different things. However, there's key points, like with Qigong, you want the K1 points in the bottom of the feet activated so that what you're doing is really empowered. So, hey, Deborah, good morning. So it's not just about meditating or doing something, it's about activating certain centers, whether it's a chakra center or a meridian point or a part on the body. The PDF that I sent out has some of that information in there. We're going to incorporate a little bit more of that today. So like the pyramid on the top of the head. So here's a point in the back of the head. And imagine a pyramid point on the top of the head. And when you have your head normal, it's kind of tilted, but when we kind of bow our head in a second, the point goes up. And that's in the PDF that I shared. So we're going to be incorporating a little more today because, like I said, you can meditate, you can do energy exercises, you can do yoga, you can do things like that. But if you really want to have the power flow through or activated, then you activate these points. And we're going to do a little bit of that more today. We've been doing some with the Ark of the Covenant, but there's so much more that we can add in. And I know sometimes it can be like a long process, like literally this could be a 30-minute process from beginning to end to really activate it. So, before we get started today, again, I'm just kind of drawing however every day we do it just differently. So today I want you to begin with some particular intent. So imagine that your intent, if you've ever seen like the scope on a gun or a rifle, you have the back center and then you have the front center. The intention is the scope inside your heart, and the attention, hey Cindy, and the attention is what's going out. So there's intention, and then there's or outward tension. And you want your intention and your attention to line up. Otherwise, we miss the target. I was in the military, which is like a whole lifetime ago. So anyway, you want your attention and your intention lined up perfectly. And that's when you hit the target of creation. So what we do is we take our intention and then we clear ourselves. Here's our intention, holding it focused, and then we're clearing all ourselves so that we can come back into breathing. And then you fire your arrow of creation. Okay, and so that's really important. So let's go up to our temporal bones, the sphenoid, right? The Ark of the Covenant. You're touching the Ark of the Covenant, which is the altar inside the pyramid. Hey, Beverly. Holy smokes, I haven't seen you in forever. Great to see you, Beverly. So what I was just saying a second is we're going to match our intention, tension, the force inside of us, with our attention, which is the energy going out into the world. And we want to match our intention with our attention. Otherwise, we miss the target. So intention and attention, or attention, and we want those to line up. And how we do that is we clear our energy body. So we're starting with the sphenoid bone, clearing the sphenoid bone, which is literally the Ark of the Covenant, pituitary, two-lobed, 10 commandments, hormones set inside of the Ark of the Covenant, your sphenoid bone. This is the limbic brain, the emotional brain, gallbladder 1, meridian point. All of these things overlap perfectly. It's beautiful. You know, your body is literally the Word of God made flesh, without a shadow of a doubt. It totally is. So everything correlates. Genesis to Revelation. So tapping here and then just taking your 4 fingers and raking any kind of negative energy out of your mind, out of your emotional brain. Let's do that 2 more times. Tapping over the temporal bones. Focusing on the Ark of the Covenant, the altar, which is your hormones. When you get your mind a certain way, we create hormones based on how we're feeling. And then raking the energy, all that negative energy out of your head, out of your emotional brain. One more time, lightly tapping this time with focus. What is that intent that you want to bring about today? Whether it's for yourself, your community, or your world. Focusing on that as we do this, raking off the sides of the head. Now, I think Beverly, the only one on here that doesn't have my PDF. I'll send that out to you today, Beverly. But remember, there's a four-sided pyramid, and the top of that point's in the top of the head. The pituitary is the queen's chamber, and the king's chamber is the pineal. They're actually kind of orientated just like in the physical outward pyramid. Pyramid means fire in the middle. That's all pyramid means. So we're going to focus on this pyramid inside of our head, which is the Ark of the Covenant is setting inside of. And we're going to do there's lots of different breaths of fire, which is to put chi into your brain. And we're going to do a simple one today that I learned in trance dancing, really powerful technique. So what we're doing is we're going to take 2 breaths in, and we imagine the energy is going into our head. Of course, oxygen goes into your lungs, but you're imagining energy going into your head. Hold it a second. Breathe it out. So in through the nose. And what that does is we're feeling that little pyramid, your brain full of energy. So when we line this up with spirit, we're going to really shoot some powerful arrows of creation out. So focusing on that sphenoid bone. And really bring your attention to right here, the tip of your nose. And you can do this at your own pace. We're going to do about 9 of these breaths. And the focus is filling your brain with chi. So remember the pyramid. Two more. One more. You should feel some tingling somewhere in your head or in your nose or your nostrils. That's what's called the breath of fire. Now we're bending our head slightly forward, okay, just slightly forward. That pyramid point now is pointing up. It's perfectly, that's why you bow when you pray. You're aligning your crown upward. If you just do it this way, you don't have the alignment. So when you do this, your spinal cord elongates. You can even feel it if you tune into your spine and just go about 2 inches down. You can feel your spine elongate. So the kundalini that's wrapped around the base of the energy system 3.5 times, like the chokure symbol, allows that kundalini to rise up into that chamber, that pyramid chamber. And I just want you to just kind of be in the quiet now with your intent. And at the same time, I want you to imagine energy is coming down through the top of the head. And this time, I want you to imagine that it is platinum in nature. Silverish platinum in nature. And if you haven't done this before, this simple 1 to 2 inches nodding your head down, you can actually feel tension if you haven't stretched out your back in a while. So now imagine this platinum energy is pouring down through the brain, through the body. At the same time, you're sending energy up from the sacrum, up through the spinal cord, up into that pyramid and out. So this is the communion, okay? You're shooting up right to the center of the larger energy coming down. Good. Now drop your attention down to the heart space, center of the chest, the Christ energy. Buddha represented consciousness. Christ represented the awakened, open heart, awakened, open mind, awakened, open heart. Focusing on that octahedron in the center of your heart. Hey, Sylvia. The diamond going up. A 4-sided pyramid going up and a 4-sided pyramid going down, the octahedron in the center of the chest, deep inside your body. It's what the Merkaba is born off of, or stellates. The points come out from the octahedron, so this is the heart of the heart. Interestingly enough, the octahedron is a Platonic solid, and way back when, Plato assigned the element air to the octahedron, and air is the element of the heart chakra. You can think of spirit as air. We're always having to breathe it in, let it go. Breathe it in, let it go. So that little octahedron in the center of your chest, hey Teresa, that octahedron in the center of your chest, we filled the pyramid in the head up with the breath of fire today. We've aligned the Kundalini channel from the sacrum. Going deep inside that space, that octahedron inside your heart. I want you to put a little bitty you, a mini you, inside that octahedron. And in that space, I want you to just imagine that it is floating in source. What is source, in my opinion? It is everything that is life-giving and life-sustaining. You can call it God, you can call it Allah, you can call it George. But everybody has an individual relationship to that. And you don't need a middle person between, or a middle organization, or anything between you and that, because you and that are one. When you stop and jump into the space, the namaste space, that when you're in the space and you, and I'm in that space and me, we are one. So whatever you're focusing on, I'm helping add energy to you as you are helping me. So 2 or more gathered in His name. Again, this isn't in my glory. We're not doing this for our glory. We're letting the source come through us so that we can help bring love and light to this planet. In our lives, in our families, in our community, and in the world. That is being a divine steward. So focusing on that thing that you had intent with, that I told you before we started to focus on. Think about it, visualize it, give internal words to it. See it happening, see yourself in it. Hey Yolanda, hey Randy. If you're just now joining, you may want to go back and watch the beginning. I did a little bit different today. Today we activated the pyramid, the fire in the middle. That's what pyramid means. We did a breath of fire. Activated the Queen's Chamber and the King's Chamber, which is pituitary and pineal at the beginning. We've aligned the spine, the Kundalini channel. Now we're into the hearts, taking our intent and our focus to that space. Again, we're offering ourselves as stewards, as extensions of everything that is life-giving and life-sustaining. And we're choosing to unplug from those things that are taking life and suppressing life. So whatever that thing is that you're wanting to choose to create today, or in the next couple of days, months, or even years, holding that into your heart. We're all connected. Listening to Source as well. What is God giving you? What kind of guidance? It's one thing just to pray, but have you really ever stopped to listen after you pray? It's a two-way communication. The covenant, the Ark of the Covenant, is communication, communion, communication. Those are all very similar. So spending that energy inside your heart, aligning with Source, aligning with God, breathing deeply. Imagine all this energy that you're breathing goes inside you. And then as you breathe out, out in all directions away from your heart. This energy waving from your heart. So each time we do this, we add more and more power to this group energy. And you're that little push pin, that spot of light on the planet. I believe light workers, a better way of saying that is light workers are the white blood cells of the human world or body. So when we're really working at our highest potential, there's white blood cells, there's all kinds of, if you study the immunity of the body, there's all types of functions, and everybody has a purpose just within immunity. But like the king and queen of the white blood cell immune system are the macrophage. These are like huge white blood cells. So if there's a negative thing, it just goes and just dissolves it, eats it up, which is very similar to what Christ did. He took in that negativity on the world as his own and cleared it and changed it. Each one of us can be that. All right. So y'all have a great day. Peace to you. Keep holding the light. And if you missed the first part, I recommend going back because I did put some more details in that go along with the PDF. And I see some people here I haven't seen before, so I'll send the PDF out to y'all because it really helps get the technical part so that you can just be in the meditation moment. So keep shining your light. We are the change. We are bringing this change through ourselves. Amen. Namaste.